this session is something very important for you. Now that we have been learning to speak beautiful English, to speak fluently in English, what we are going to learn now is how to deliver an extempore speech. Extempore means without any preparation, without any prior information, you are asked to give a speech and how you would tackle that. Okay? So, this is very important. You go for a board meeting or you go for any other meeting, suddenly they say, why don't you speak on this topic? So, how you should tackle such a situation we are going to see now. Okay? So, the first the important things that you have to know is that there is a structure for learning how to speak in a very unprepared manner. That is, elocution is different. You prepare a speech, you by heart certain quotes and then you memorize most of it and then you go and speak. That is not an extempore speech. An extempore speech or a talk is speaking without prior information and also unprepared speech. Okay? Maybe they will give 2 or 3 minutes for you to speak, to prepare for your speech. They will say, Mr. So and so or Ms. So and so, you may have to speak on this topic, and you should quickly do all the mind mapping as to what you are going to do, how you are going to go about it, and then deliver a speech. Okay? So, do not get hassled at all, do not get panicky. You can easily deal with it if only you know the structure of an extempore speech. Giving an extempore. Extempore is a French word without preparation, speech or talk. Okay, shall we go about how to face this? Preparing. Okay, you have to structure your speech with 3 T's. Structure your speech or structure your with 3 T's. Let us see what these 3 T's are. First T, telling them what you are about to speak. Okay. Now, when you come forward, you can just start with good morning ladies and gentlemen, or good morning respected judges, distinguished guests, and so and so. However you begin your speech, you are going to say, I am about to speak or I am going to speak to you on this particular topic. So, first you have to introduce your topic, whatever you are going to talk on, you have to introduce it to the audience. Okay. So, telling them what you are about to speak, you are about to speak or tell. Next one. Telling them or giving them or giving them the content Okay, whatever you are going to speak, you first introduce, and next thing is you tell them or you give them the content of the topic, like whatever you have prepared, whatever you want to tell them, you speak it out in a very effective way. Okay. So, first you have to introduce your topic, and you should tell the audience what you are going to speak on. Next, you are giving them the full content of the topic. Third point is, tell them or recapitulate. Tell them again or recapitulate. That is, whatever you have spoken, your speech. Okay. Now, when you do this, tell them again or recapitulate your speech. Now, whatever content you have given, you have to bring out the points again, jot down the points, and you have to recapitulate. Okay. So, we just heard now about this topic. Okay. For example, rainwater harvesting, and I would like to bring out the main points in whatever I spoke, and you have to give them the main points again. So, these 3 T's are very, very, very important. Okay. Telling them what you are about to speak. Second one, telling them or giving them the full content, and the third point is telling them again, that is repeating the main points or recapitulating your the main points of your speech. These 3 points are very, very important. Okay. And next we are going to see the basic things that you need to remember when you give a good extempore speech. So, first, preparing is structure your speech with 3 T's, telling them what you are about to speak. So, introducing the topic. Okay. So, this means introducing. Introducing the topic, then telling them or giving them the content of the topic, that is explaining whatever you would like to speak, and then tell them again or recapitulate your speech. So, this is recapitulating. Recapitulating is jotting down the main point, or you are not jotting down means you are only speaking, isn't it? So, I would like to reinstate the points that I have spoken so far, and you can say point number 1 is this, point number 2 is this, and all that. So, only then whatever speech you are given will get into the minds of people. Okay. So, these 3 T's you should always remember when you are asked to give a speech. I am sure you will remember that. Okay, we just saw 3 T's that are very important for structuring a speech, an extempore speech. Next, I am going to give you the 6 fundamentals. Okay, the fundamentals means the basic points you have to remember how your extempore speech should be. Okay, first is plan an effective opening. Okay, I will just give 6 fundamentals. First point, plan an effective opening. Plan an effective opening. See, the first few minutes of your speech is very, very important. How you make an impact on the audience in the first 5 minutes only is going to determine. Okay. The first 5 minutes, if you are not very effective, everybody will go off to sleep. So, you have to make use of the first 5 minutes to speak with a very good opening, for which you can start with an anecdote. You can start with some latest news item, maybe a cricket commentary, or something to do with the weather, or something to do with the election results, or something to do with some latest movie, something to catch the attention of the audience. You have to start with a very nice impact. Okay. So, your first 5 minutes of your speech, that is the first introductory part of your speech, should be very, very effective. Only then you can catch the attention of the crowd or the audience. You can just start with, good morning ladies and gentlemen, I am here to speak about so and so, and then you can go on with another anecdote, or anecdote means a small happening, or you can just bring out a proverb, and or you can bring out a latest news item and speak on that. So, something like that you can speak on, and then once you get the attention of the audience, then you can go on with your content of the speech. Okay. Plan an effective opening of the speech. This is the first fundamental that you have to learn. And also greeting is very, very important. In case somebody has introduced you, so and so is going to speak and you have come to speak, just say thank you so and so, and good morning ladies and gentlemen, I would like to speak on. Okay. So, do not forget to thank the person who has introduced you also. Next point is, have something interesting to say. Okay. Have something do not choose some topic, like for example rainwater harvesting, we will just think. Okay. You have to save water, you have to do this, you have to do that. It will be lot of do's and don'ts, and it is not a very effective speech. So, you have to come out with something interesting. Okay. Have something very interesting to speak. Otherwise, the audience will get bored. You may write all nice quotes and this and that, and you could have got from some net or some essays and all that you could have got, and if you just go and talk blah 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 blah, it should be interesting. Otherwise, people will not listen to you. Okay. So, first you have to plan an effective opening, and then have something very interesting to say. Next is, be yourself. What does that mean? That is, do not try to put on false pretense when you speak, and or do not try to put on some accents and all, and try to impress the audience. Be yourself. Okay. Whatever you are, just feel casual and speak. Just forget that you are speaking before an audience, even if they are unknown to you. Do not bother at all. Just consider them as your friends, and eye contact is very, very important. So, look at them and speak to them as though you are talking to your friends. Okay. So, be yourself. Do not get perturbed, and do not put on any flowery languages, accents and all that, and do not try to imitate somebody else's speech. Okay. So, you have to be calm and be yourself, and your body language and all that. Do not try to like this, like that and all that. Just be calm. You can just However you speak normally to people, other people, just have the same mannerism when you give a speech. The next point, in case you made a mistake in your speech, you have forgotten something, immediately don't get panicky and if you get perturbed and panicky, you will forget the whole lot of points that you wanted to speak. So, do not panic even if you make mistakes. Don't panic even if you made any mistakes. What do you mean by panic? Panic means getting scared. Oh, I made a mistake. What will they think of me? What have I done? My whole thing is lost and all that. Do not think. Okay, don't panic even if you have made any mistakes. Just say, I'm sorry and I've slipped out this point, and go ahead. Okay, so that is a very important point. Next is, now you have already come to fourth point. Okay, fifth point, do not plan a lengthy speech. Always stick to 4 points. Okay, always remember 4 points. Why I have written 4 points is, sometimes you go on and on and on for a long time, even if it's an extempore speech. Sometimes when you get the mic in your hand, you keep on talking. What you speak should be effective. So, stick only to 4 main points. So, before you analyze and do a mind mapping of your speech, just choose 4 important points and go ahead with that. Do not keep talking all the things. So, even if you give 10 points, nothing is going to stay in the audience's mind. So, always remember 4 points. Okay? Do not make it more lengthy. Next point, this is fundamentals, means basics. Okay. So, always remember 4 points when you give a speech. That is a 5th point. And the 6th fundamental is, what will it be? Now, we have to end the speech. How will you end it? End your speech with a bang. Okay. What does that mean? What does that mean? Sometimes you go on and suddenly you finish your speech. When it has ended also, people may not know. Oh, she has gone, so they will clap hands just because you are not there on the stage. It shouldn't be like that. When you finish with the 4 points, being yourself, do not use flowery language, and something interesting you have spoken, you have started with an effective opening. Same way you have to end your speech also with a bang. So, give some thought provoking statement which makes them think, or give a challenge to the audience, or you even some joke you can give, or a quote you can give towards the end, and just like they should want you to go on and on. Just then you say thank you and you can come out of the stage. Okay. So, you should end your speech with a bang. That means give them a nice food for thought, or you give them a nice quote to ponder, or you give them a nice joke to relish on, something like that, and then you say thank you and you can go. So, these 6 points please remember whenever you are asked to give an extempore speech. Now, shall we look into it again? Plan an effective opening of the speech. Have something very interesting to speak. Be yourself, that is, do not use any flowery language, or do not use any slangs, do not use any accents, nothing at all. You may think, if I use some slang words or if I use some other accent only, I will be accepted. No, be yourself. Don't panic even if you have made any mistakes. See, to err is human. To make mistakes, it's always very human. So, if you've made any mistakes, just say sorry and don't bother about it, and don't get perturbed because you made a mistake. Carry on, keep speaking. Always remember 4 points, that means use only 4 main points in your speech. Okay? Use only, don't give too many points. 4 main points. Okay? This 4-point theory you should remember. Always use only 4 main points. Do not use too many points for the audience to catch up with the theme of your speech. Then end your speech with a bang. I told you how to end your speech with a bang. Give a nice thought provoking quote, or give some food for thought which they can think, which they can ponder upon, or give a nice joke to laugh about. Okay, by the time they are still laughing, you can just say thank you and you can go back. Okay, so this should be the effective extempore speech. Okay, I am sure you are all going to become great orators, and you will remember us for teaching you all these important things to think about in giving an extempore speech.